Happy Friday. This is Steph Lee, founder of Host Agency Reviews, and you are tuning in for the Friday 15, where every Friday, 12 p.m. Central Time, we answer the questions that you have submitted to us at hostagencyreviews.com/Friday15. So today we have back in the studio Chad Burt with Outside Agents. Hello, Chad.
Hey, how you doing, Steph? Always good to be
Good.
here.
It's been a few weeks. I've been to Vienna and back, so I'm probably looking very tired, but very happy and satisfied
We'll have
because
to compare notes at some point because I just got done eating my way through that place.
excellent, excellent. Well, let's see. So, Chad, we're going to jump right into questions today.
Okay.
Um, First one is coming from Anonymous, and they say, new advisor here, just starting out. I'm wondering if it's possible to be successful in getting leads through online marketing only and not tap into family or friends or the local community. So you've got tons of advisors. Has anyone been successful doing this?
Okay. Let's look at revenue models first. I'd start with friends and family just to get a little money coming down the pipe. Okay. And maybe
Hmm.
some verbal referral business. That having been said, a little over a year ago, we retained Bella. She's our in-house digital marketing expert. Uh, I used to be an expert. Now she is. Okay. um, And the first thing I tasked her with, I said, "You don't know anybody in this building at all. Here's $100. Go grab a website, learn how to be a travel agent, and get a lead, a real lead that's unrelated to you."
Hmm.
She did it in 2 days shy of 6 weeks, which in internet time for SEO is whoop whoop. Okay, that's pretty
So she
impressive.
got it strictly from her website, not from,
100%.
was she doing ads or anything, or no? She
So
just organic.
I gave her $100 to go play with it. She didn't spend a dime on it. She did it with, you get free trials. Google give you a few and all this kind of stuff. She did a little bit of
Yeah.
that, did a little SEO or some backlinking is important. So she wrote a couple articles for content to get a backlink or two and da 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 da. And what I did is I had her keep a journal of exactly what she did. And so we're turning that into a training. What she did won't work for you necessarily. Let's be clear about that. There's no one size fits all here. Okay. But if the question is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? Not necessarily, but it's not bone crushingly hard. Okay.
Hmm.
It is methodic and consistent. It's something you apply a method to consistently over time. You're not going to game Google.
Yeah, so let's clarify one thing on this because I'm not sure if Anonymous is talking about when they're saying online marketing, if we're talking about organic only traffic to their site or if they're talking about paid. So right now you're talking about organic only, like using your website, having it show up in the search results, that type of thing. So on the online advertising side, because it is slower that way is for sure when you're doing organic traffic. Have you seen people that have within your network do heavy online advertising where they're doing social ads or search ads?
Yeah, and so again, I know there's a range of experience here, but keywords we've all heard of that. There's something called long tail keywords. That's the longer the phrase, the less traffic you're going to get, but the further down the funnel that person is. So, for
Hmm.
example, 20 years ago when we were a retail agency, you would never, ever, ever have seen me paying for the keyword cruise. I guarantee it. Too expensive, too much competition, and that person's having a glass of wine and daydreaming anyhow. They're not ready to buy. You would see me 7 night Holland America Zooterdam cruise out of Alaska departing in August. I'd grab that
Yep.
whole keyword. So, folks, for SEO, here's what I recommend specific recommendations that will work for you. And we do classes on this. So, this is something for nothing. Google My Business, number one. Uh, I've got one on my bookshelf if you put up that link. Okay, step by step, how to do it. Should take you about 5 minutes. Step one, that gives you your anchor because Google doesn't know you exist until there's a link to you. Okay, so that's your first step. And that's going to leverage your local advantage. You should
Hmm.
have an About Us page which reflects your location. So, for example, we have an artificial intelligence tool that looks at your travel leaders network profile, figures out your brand voice, and then writes an About Us page for you. And it's optimized for the search engines. So if you live in New York City, this isn't going to help you at all. If you live in a suburb of Paducah, Illinois, you've got a strong chance of maybe getting that link. Next, you have to create content. Oh, I'm not a writer. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't have to. I've heard all the excuses. The fact is, you have to contribute. So, like, we've got AI tools to help you do that. But
I know, I was like, "People don't need to write anymore, we've got AI." It's not
yeah,
like,
and let me
definitely
talk about that real
tailor it,
quick.
though.
Whatever you do, if my agents, if I ever catch them copying and pasting something out of AI as a final result, I'm going to fly to their house and talk to them. Okay, don't go dumb. Don't assume AI knows everything. Read it all because it's a teenager, for crying out loud.
Oh my
It's
gosh, yes.
it's gonna mess up here and there. So you've got those first two steps, and then finally start looking for that niche. The niche. Oh man, we all struggle with that. And you don't want to exclude any business, right? But have a couple of highly targeted pages that you update once a week or so. Few words about the niche that you're specializing in. The three hot ones right now: multi-generational travel, uh, pre-retirement travel. So people who were going to retire 10 years from now are kind of taking a partial retirement right now and they're spending like crazy.
Mhm.
And then, as always, you're all inclusives. We all want to get together and test our livers and all that. And that's fun. But we're finding that they're doing more group business. Couples are going with couples and stuff. So I'd encourage you to go look for these kinds of niches that you can do a little writing about and maybe pick up some local search traffic that's highly targeted and has a warm pulse. They're really
Mhm.
close to buying because they're reading. If I can get somebody
Yeah.
to read, they're halfway there.
And Anonymous, I'm going to link to a couple Travel Agent Chatter episodes, which is another podcast we do. It's long form, where it's about an hour interview with people that have had successful travel agencies, and they're all in all different niches. They have unique approaches to the way they're doing things. But I'll link to a couple of them that have very specific niches, whether it be a destination or the type of travel they're doing. And it can give you some ideas about how you can be creating that content that can attract people, because it,
Oh,
it is much easier when you have a niche to market.
it is, and why? Because I'm not. The message isn't so wide.
You know who
Okay,
you're talking to.
I know who I'm talking to, and I'm getting it to them. And the trick is this: remember, when we decide a niche, we're not excluding the other stuff. Okay, my doctor's still a doctor. He just didn't go to brain surgery school. He's still a doctor. Okay, so
Hmm.
just them knowing that you're a knowledgeable travel agent about whatever helps
Yeah.
a lot. So don't be afraid to go in there and find that niche for fear of excluding everything else, but just harp on it. And then second, and this is so important, Stephanie, when it comes to this, your website is talking to people, not bots.
Yeah.
If I game or whatever like that, and I get all this, fluffy traffic or whatever like that, and they get to that page and it doesn't have anything to do with what they wanted, it's going to work against you.
Hmm. And just to reiterate what Trad said about the AI, definitely. So for host week, we had our speaker proposals come in, and you could definitely tell when someone copy and pasted from AI. Like they're good, but they're very formal, and they have a there's not a good human voice behind it. And so you can use it as a base to build off of, but you really need to be number one fact checking it. The other day my dad sent me something. He had asked Google Bard or Bard about who is Stephanie from Host Agency Reviews or something, and it popped up and it gave these quotes from people that had supposedly taken our course. That like one of them was Mark Casto, who he's really involved with ASTA. His family had a big agency with like that's been around from the 70s, with like 250 agents. They sold to Flight Center, and it's like Mark Castor saying, Steph helped me build my agency. Her course was so wonderful and really, and I was like, where in the world did he get this information from? So that's your warning to not always to always check what AI is telling you because it pulls some really weird stuff.
Real quick, you can always count on me for a weird story. This time I
Excellent.
don't have tomatoes. I don't have any of that. But I will tell you this. I said, hey, compare and contrast these two hotels near the Colosseum in Italy. Be
Mhm.
specific, present it in a table format, and make it funny. I thought, funny, juice it up a bit. So here comes this table, square feet, studied it, all this kind of stuff, down, down, and down. Got to the bidet line. There was a checkbox in one column and not in the other. And it says at the bottom, as you can see above, the one property does not have a bidet, but that's okay because they have a garden hose and Bear Grylls lives down the street. I thought that was hilarious. I don't know if I wanted to send that to my clients.
I'm trying to decide if it thought that was funny and that's why it put it in there,
I
or
think
if
it
it
was
was
trying to be
actually.
funny. It just didn't know its audience.
Oh my god, yeah, lessons for everybody here.
Yeah, you be careful.
Well, I'm gonna link to, Google My Business so people can get that set up, and I'm also gonna link to our article on a niche for people, as well as those TAC episodes, but, anonymous, totally doable to do those online marketing only, just be very specific when you're doing it. So, Chad, this next one is kind of a long question from Sam I. So Sam says, Dear Har team, I'm writing to express my gratitude for the invaluable insights and resources available on your website, which have been instrumental in aiding my research and understanding of the travel industry. Score. Your contributions to this community are truly commendable, and I deeply appreciate the efforts you invest. I do apologize for the lengthy questions. Feel free to split these questions up as needed. And we did have to split them up, Sam. We only have time for one today, but this is Sam's question. Presently, I am in the initial stages of establishing a travel agency as an IC. However, I'm finding myself faced with the challenge of selecting a suitable host agency and refining my niche within the travel market. As a mother to a 1 and 3 year olds and a certified infant swim instructor running my own business, I perceive a significant opportunity within my network encompassing various mom groups and acquaintances with children of similar ages. Consequently, specializing as a family travel advisor appears to be a natural fit. I'm 100% on board with that, Sam.
Mhm.
I am seeking your guidance on whether this focus might be too broad, particularly considering my initial interest is specializing as a Disney travel advisor. So, my research has indicated that Disney commissions are relatively low, and that is true. They're 10% for everybody, even if, like Chad, how much you said you had 1 billion in sales this year or next year? I can't remember.
Next year,
Yeah,
early next year.
10% though for you, right?
Yeah, on most
So,
products. Yeah, cruise obviously were higher.
yeah, Disney is I'll link to our article on
They allow us
commissions.
to sell them.
Yes,
If it be
yes,
that way.
yes. So Sam says, therefore, I am contemplating incorporating ocean cruises and all-inclusive resorts into my offering. However, I want to be regarded as an expert in these domains. Can you provide some insights into whether those three destinations, so all-inclusives, ocean cruises, Disney, can they effectively complement each other, and whether ICs without a team can effectively sell Disney and generate the requisite commission to get an annual income of at least $50,000? Chad,
Is that
lots
gross income
lots
before
going on
taxes or
there.
after?
What's
No,
that?
I'm just I said, is that gross income or after taxes?
That's
No,
a
I was
great
I was messing.
question.
So, first of all, the thoughtfulness behind that is what stands out to me. She's thinking this through, um,
Mhm.
and
Agreed.
that's what everybody needs to do, is just calm down, stop following listicles, and just think, and she's done that. So, she or he. Um, Next, as to her, background and whatnot. She's got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. God bless your soul, gonna start a business at the same time. And you're a swim instructor. I was a WSI in my much younger years, and that requires a bit of discipline and maintaining people's focus. Those 2 skills are gonna serve you well if you look at Disney ocean cruises to start. So that takes 2 or 3 right out of there. Throw in a drink package and you're in business. But the idea is that, let's say, a pre or post at Disney World, couple hour drive, you hop on the ship for a couple 3 days. Think about the diversity of that experience.
Mhm.
Now, what you want to do is go tell that story. People don't need the facts and figures and prices yet. What they need are authentic pictures of you and your family enjoying yourself. Be very careful with Disney. You can't have anything of theirs in the background that's identifiable as them. Come to find out, the roof in the Garden Cafe is copyrighted. But the point being that they want to see you, they want to hear your story, they want to emote, they want to connect with something emotionally, and that's what they're buying. That's what they're buying, the feelings, not the memories, not anything else, not the trip. They want the feelings. Now, the feeling of Disney is excitement, it's family, it's kids. And what I've learned, having been on 4 cruises myself on them, with and without kids, that it's plenty fancy for anybody. Stephanie, I've been on everything from Silver Seas to Carnival and in between. And Disney's I would say almost a luxury brand. Premium, definitely.
Mhm.
Luxury getting there. And what Disney does so well, you ever notice in their movies, they can crack 2 jokes at the exact same time and get away with
Oh,
it. One's for
yeah.
the adults, one's for the kids. That's what they
They're
do on their
very
cruise ship.
talented.
They are. So that's the approach I would consider with that. I would also look at work from home mom forums where you might be able to sponsor or post because people might be able to connect with what you're doing. They might be ready to go do it themselves, but not.
Mhm.
But they have that idea of work from home mom. Oftentimes, that's an initial relationship that helps you get further to the sale right out of the gates. You both work from home,
Mhm.
as parents. Wow. Okay, cool. It's a conversation. So to answer your question in summary, all inclusives, beaches, love it. All that's great. Make sure you're speaking to the emotion. Okay, we're gonna go eat ourselves silly and drink and laugh till dawn. Add the emotional component. Then the same thing with Disney and ocean cruises. If I was family focused at all, Disney would be in my repertoire and talk about
Yeah.
a way to expand your profit margin. Just real quick, I'll tell you this. Disney has this reputation for being low commission percentage. Gross value of a transaction is above the average transaction in my organization significantly. So, yeah, you get the tickets, no commission on that, 10% on the hotel, 15 on the cruise, maybe we get some
Ye
insurance on now the total
That's what
package
I was gonna say, is
becomes yeah,
the cruises are actually tiered, and Adventures by Disney, all tiered, which is different from their park products. So those are more lucrative for
and
sure.
if you're coming in from Paducah, Illinois, going all the way down to, Orlando, and this is a trip of a lifetime for you and your kids. Y'all don't get down there very often.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you hit the park and then go to the cruise and then share how happy you were doing that? And I guarantee you will get leads.
Yeah, I agree, like, families. You've got, Sam, a great audience and network to tap into. And one of the nice things too is, like, as you become more experienced, those families are eventually going to age out of Disney, and they'll be wanting to do other things, and you'll be expanding into other things. By then, you'll have 10 years of experience, and you'll be
I heard a
ready to
quote.
maybe. What's that?
I heard a quote one time. Travel is a progressive disease.
Who said
For
that?
about
That's
3 nights,
brilliant.
4 nights, 5 nights.
That's
It might even be, I
brilliant.
don't
I
know.
love it.
But it is. And that's what we're hoping to do is help them along this journey, this path. And as you become more ingrained in their history, so will you become more ingrained in their future.
Yep,
You're affecting behavioral inclinations as opposed to triggering actions. I know that's a deep dive, but basically, when you see my logo, I want you to smile. That way, when I try to sell you something, you're happy to listen. I want
yep.
to connect with you.
Um, Let me pull up to one of the things because I know, Sam, one of the things is that you'll need to have this $50,000 in income. So, like Chad said, if you're pairing on the cruises, I think that can definitely make that happen for you. It's going to be a little bit harder with only the parks. So, I'll link to our hosted advisor report landing page. These are the research papers that we publish every year, but what I wanted to show you, there's a couple things in here that are going to be helpful for you. For number one is knowing that it's going to take a few years before you're going to probably
Yes.
be at $50,000. Because it's really years 3 through 5 that we see advisors starting to actually earn an income you can live off of. And the reason is your people only travel a couple times a year, so your referrals and the repeat business, it's a little slow, but after year 3, it really starts picking up. The other thing, okay, so let me see income trends here. And those of you that are listening in, you'll have to go to the YouTube page to be able to see this information. But you can see here the incomes by experience level and whether they're full-time or part-time. And let's see, this is 3 to 5 years. The average, if people are working full-time, is $45,000 they're making in income. Years 6 through 8, it's $60,000. And then from there, it kind of tops out around 65 to 67,000 through the year. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing I wanted to point out
J
in
Real
here,
quick, real quick.
talk
Just
to me,
got
Chad.
back from, Asia hosting our top 50 agents in America. This year, we had 67 agents that we paid more than $1 million to. Every
Pace.
single one of them had a first day on the job. None
Yep.
of them went to Harvard Business College, and yet there they were. So it's
Yeah.
doable. You just have to keep your eye on the prize. It's a little ways down the road.
You just have to know what to expect. I think that's the
Mhm.
problem. Like people need to tell you you're not going to be earning 50,000 your first year unless there's something it happens, but it's very rare. The other thing I wanted to do was income by niche. So this can kind of show you let me see. This one can show you income by time investment. All right, so income by niche. So this one, you can see like Disney down here is the lowest. And that does have to do, even though it is a higher going to Disney is not cheap, but because it's that flat 10%, is what's lowering that. So if you're able to get the Disney cruise where you can earn 15, 16%, that's going to be a lot more helpful for you. But hopefully, Sam, that can give you the information you needed to be comfortable with your decision. Chad and I are both on board with it's a great niche. They all complement each other. And you've got the network to tap into. So we're excited to see where you go from here.
Real quick, I was pulling up some numbers. Average transaction value for a non-cruise Disney package across our organization is right around 350 bucks, give or take a few dollars. A packaged, so pre-post Disney World with a cruise in the middle is just north of $800 per
Oh,
transaction.
yeah. Nice. I love that. That's great data. Thank you.
Yeah,
Did you
so
just pull
same.
that up while we were talking?
Yeah, I got my reports right behind me. I'm
Love
serious.
that. Here's Chad and I just looking at our data and our reports.
You know what though? You have to do that. Even just real quick, even for a new agent, I had one sale the whole year. Why do I have to go analyze that? Because you want to know where it came from. Did I spend my
Yeah.
money well there? If I do something different, what is the threshold for success? Always, always, always look back periodically, once a week, and just think things through. Everybody in business is always saying water under the bridge and moving forward and all that. Sometimes it's a really good idea to just double check yourself.
Mhm.
And data is a great
Exactly.
way to do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chad. Quick question. If people want to reach out, I'm going to link to your Har profile. But if people want to reach out, learn a little bit more about outside agents, what's the best way for them to reach out to you or someone from your team?
So Steve and I are available and always have been available to all of our agents. My extension is 210. It rings through to my cell phone. Steve's is 312. And he has that thing stuck to his head all day, so I don't know where it rings to. But what we'd like you to do first, if you would, go to the contact us page on outsideagents.com and submit a form there or hit the live chat. Both those are going to go to C-level executives in the company. So Steve, me, Jared, or Dan. Okay, and they're going to talk to you. So I'm not going to have you talk to somebody who started last week or any of that stuff. I want you to talk to your business partner. I want you to talk to somebody who can make decisions. So we're always available. So try using the contact us page, and then you can always dial us directly.
Cool. I'm going to link to that so people can find it easily in the show notes. So upcoming on Friday 15th. So next week we have Uniglobe Travel Center. April from there will be co-hosting. And then the following week is going to be Lori Spears with Levarte Travel. And you know what? Who's after that? Oh, Travel Planners International is going to be back again on November 17th. So if you have questions about any of these host agencies specific to their programs, make sure to submit your questions. You can go to hostagencyreviews.com/Friday15 and get your question answered on the air. How exciting is that?
So you're saying there's other host agencies? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
no, 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 no. You totally misunderstood that.
Outsideagents.com. No.
So final wrapping things up. Don't forget to sign up for Host Week. It is coming up in almost 2 months. So it's free. You can go to hostagencyreviews.com/host week to sign up. Lots of great information and educational opportunities for you for both new and experienced advisors. So we hope to see you there. And Chad, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Seriously, I say this every time, but I enjoy this so much. Anytime you want somebody to talk your ears off, let me know.
I know who to call, and I'm just going to dial it in on your section, and I'm going to be like, bring Steve into this too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, we do that all the time. I'm serious. They call me yin and yang. We always have different answers, but we get through it. I appreciate you though,
awesome.
Stephanie. I really do.
Yeah, great to have you on. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you next Friday, 12 p.m. Central Time.